Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 235. It's February 10th, 2016. And I almost didn't record today. So if the lighting looks a little different, number one, okay, let's address some things. I'm kind of planning on recording upstairs, where the last two episodes have been. However, in the time it took me to get ready, which was quite a while because I did take a little bit of a nap, my husband, normally he comes downstairs to the basement on his days off and naps on the couch over there. So the living room is wide open for me to record at. Well, he decided to nap upstairs on the couch in the living room rather than the couch down here. So we're back in the basement because it is later in the afternoon. It's almost 3:30 here right now, Mountain Time, and the sun has shifted to the west side of the house, which is behind me. I moved the lamp over from behind the couch to over here. This is the same lighting setup that I did back in Omaha, so if the light seems a little weird, that's why. Again, can't visualize what's going on here, so I've got two lights blaring in my face from this direction, and I'm hoping it's enough light that you guys can see stuff a little better down here. We'll see how it goes, so grab your coffee, grab your knitting, and let's start. First thing is what I've got on the needles in my Girl Cave bags. I have my first, oh gosh, I'm a mess today. The special Snowflake sock. I'm still on the first one. The yarn is by Gail's Art. It is her special secret sock blank. It's a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon blend in the colorway Special Snowflake, which she named after a story I told her this last summer. And this was part of her sock club. So this was the December shipment. She's currently, the February shipment just came out, and I decided not to participate. And now that I see it, I'm kind of kicking myself, but that's okay. I have plenty of yarn I'm not going to go without. So first sock, I was about an inch past the gusset, so I managed about 3 inches of foot. I did try it on this morning. I need probably about 2 more inches before I start the toe, and I'm hoping to get that done tonight, this afternoon, evening. I'm meeting up with Lynn Zim, one of my friends out here, to celebrate our mutual birthdays. Her birthday's today, so it'll be yesterday by the time you guys see this. So go over and wish her a happy belated birthday. So we're meeting and going out for dinner, and we haven't seen each other in person since, gosh, October, I don't think. So knitting this sock blank up on US 1s. It is a 2.25 millimeter needle. I'm almost to the big snowflake that marks the center of the sock blank, or what I'm assuming marks the center of the sock blank. So that I'm hoping to get pretty close to before I do the toe, but we'll see. I'm liking it so far. I just need to have the time to sit down and knit on it, which unfortunately I don't have a whole lot of lately, and that's fine, but I made some progress, so I'm happy. I was kind of hoping I'd actually have the whole thing done or be working on the toe, but 3 inches of foot isn't bad, right? I don't think that's too bad. I haven't counted rows or anything, but just trying it on this morning, I've still got a little ways to go. Second thing that I have on the needles is in my big Jessalou Cupcake Bag Stitch by Jessalou. And that is my Weigh It number 4, which is the Yowza Weigh It Shawl 4 by Susan B. Anderson. I'm knitting this one up, and hang on, find the tag. In Miss Bab's Yowza, which is their worsted weight, huge skeins, 560 yards. It's an 8-ounce skein of 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is Zombie Honeymoon. Now, let me talk about the little Babette sticker that they put on this. A lot of Miss Bab's colorways are what they call non-repeating repeatables, I think is how they put it. So in the sense that, and they call them Babettes. So if you go to their website and order, or if you happen to see them at a show and the tag has this little Babette sticker on it, that means that, like, the color of mine, you might order the same color, the Zombie Honeymoon, and Yours might end up with a whole lot more green in it. Basically, they take the same colors, but it might end up in a different sequence on the yarn or in different ratios on the yarn. So yours might end up with a lot more, like mine has an awful lot of pink in it, but yours might have more purple or more green or more of like the peachy undercolor. It just depends. Actually, the Berlin colorway that I made the Wayet shawl number 3 out of, mine was a lot of blues with a little bit of red thrown in. I just saw a picture of someone skein online that there was so much like lime green in it, and I was like, that's the same color, and yeah, it actually was. So there you have it. So I'm working on the Wayet shawl number 4. I'm actually, the rows are getting long enough, it's not stretching across, well, it's just big and, well, not quite. You can see it gathering at the bottom there on the circular. It's just kind of hanging out. I'm knitting it up on a US 8, which is a 5mm needle, and try not to dip this in my coffee over here. Ooh, goodness. So there's my hangy stitch marker. I got about about 3.5 inches done on it, which that's pretty darn good. I wasn't expecting to get that much done this week, but hey, awesome. When I actually sit down and knit, it's amazing. I can get stuff done. It's a novel concept, right? When you knit, you make progress. So I just moved my marker up so we'll know next week how much I get done. I'm not counting on very much because this is a work weekend, so we'll see. See how it goes. And I know I love the Miss Baptista because it's so squishy and soft, and Susan B. Anderson's Wayet shawls are wonderful, just mindless knitting, the majority of them. A lot of them, this pattern, and I'd say the first one, probably the third one. The second one I didn't think, it wasn't so intuitive for me, but at least the first and the fourth one, they're very much mindless knitting. Like, you have to pay attention at the end of the rows, and that's it, so that you know what you're doing. But it's for right now, it's a very easy pattern. I'm liking it. I should probably weigh the skein at some point. It has shrunk down quite a bit. It's about the size of a softball. It was about here, and like out there. So I should probably weigh it at some point and check and see when I'm supposed to stop, so I have enough for the edging. I know I'm nowhere near close. Just judging from the size of her other ones, it's only maybe at its deepest point right now. It's about 10 inches deep. My hand span's about 10 inches. Yeah, it's about 10 inches deep, and that's not nearly deep enough for this shawl, nor is it wide enough at its widest point. So, I mean, it would make a nice little scarflet and just barely get around my neck, but it still has a ways to go. So that's it for the knitting. I do have a little bit of crocheting. I spent part of one nap time this week doing another snowflake. So my marathon crochet project, let's grab a drink of coffee here, is the Leisure Arts 99 Snowflakes book. Now, this is available on Amazon, I believe, for $9.99. And like I've explained before, I'm working my way through making 3 sets, so 3 of each snowflake in the book. At least one snowflake, 1 pattern's worth per month, so 3 snowflakes per month. If I feel like working ahead, I will. Which, it's only the 10th. I have finished 2 of the February snowflakes. So, obviously I have the far end, the bind off end to weave in on those, but I'll wait until I get all 3 done. This one takes me a little bit longer. It's just, well, like I said, it's not a single round like the first one was. So there's the January ones next to the February ones. So slightly larger, also unblocked. There is going to be what the final one looks like once it's blocked. And I'll block the ones that are going on our tree right away and hold off on the ones that are for the twins. One thing that I do love about this book, I know I've talked about it before, I love it. they have a basic stitch guide. It's just the first 2 pages. That's it. But it walks you through with illustrations, so if you're more of a video person, walks you through both with written instructions and illustrations how to do everything from a slip stitch to a triple treble crochet, which I believe is American crochet, which I know is different from Canadian and English crochet, because what we call a single crochet is something that is a double to them. I forget how it flip-flops, but I know it's kind of a bone of contention. What's a slip stitch? What's a single crochet? So if you're in the UK, if you're in Canada, the little stitch guide might be handy if you're planning on doing these. I don't think you can get the patterns individually. You have to get them in the book. But don't go off, if you're a veteran crocheter in one of those countries, don't go off of what you know. If you're planning on getting this book, look at the stitch guide, read the directions so your snowflakes come out looking how they're supposed to according to this book. So I have one more to go for this month, and then I might work ahead a little. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. See how I feel, but I'm crocheting those up. I didn't bring the ball or the crochet hook or the wrapper down, but the yarn is Knit Crocheting by, I believe, JP and Coates. It's in the ecru colorway because it just, I think, like, as it ages, even with, I know people have said that have told me don't starch them right away, it'll discolor. That's the nice thing with using the ecru. It might yellow a little, but over the years, but it won't be as noticeable on the ecru versus if I was doing the brilliant white. So that was part of the method to my madness for that. So, yeah. And I'm using, I think it's a 1.8 millimeter steel crochet hook. I think it's a size 7 is what's written on it, is a size 7. But they didn't actually have the millimeters. I had to look that up. So moving on to pokey things. I have done some cross stitching on both of my projects this week. I don't know what motivated me. Oh, hi Daisy. What you doing, Munchkin Face? Come here. Come here. This side. Where are you at? Oh, you're down there. Hi. Are you gonna come see me? No? Okay. Thought I could get a doggy cameo for you. She's turned into such a fuzz. I don't know what motivated me to take my Very Merry Christmas Town that normally lives down here for gaming time and take it upstairs, but I did one day and actually stitched while the twins were out and actually made a little bit of progress. So I'm still on clue 3. I haven't started the whole bottom banner thing yet, but I did manage to get quite a bit done this week. I finished not the whole little Christmas tree sign, because this is a Christmas tree farm over here. There's still a border that goes around the outside of the flag. I still have to do that, but the flag itself and the tree on it and all the little lights I finished this week. Let's see, what else? All the candy cane posts, those were new this week. The wreath on the door along with its bow, and most of this left-hand tree, I believe there are 2 more trees, one over here and one here, and then there's a couple of reindeer at the bottom along with another elf. So there's still quite a bit to go, but I felt like I made a lot of progress and filled a lot of stuff in. It doesn't look so bare. It's actually starting to look like a little shop, which is kind of nice. The pattern and the kit that I got for this is from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It came with the fabric, the threads, the hoop I already had when it's from, this is the first embroidery hoop I'd bought in quite a while, and it was while I was still back in Omaha, and it's just a 6-inch cheapy 99-cent embroidery hoop from Hobby Lobby. I should probably get a better one, but it works. And even if I get a better one, I'll probably keep that one and use it for a third project, so I'm limiting myself by having 2. That's good. I also stitched on Once Upon a Time, although I didn't get as much done this week on that because of working on Very Merry Christmas Town. So, still working on June, which is the Princess and the Pea. I finished the bottom mattress. I think trying to think, what had I done? I'd done the light pink, and I think I'd started some of the blue, or maybe I hadn't done the blue stripes. So I finished the blue stripes, I did the darker pink, and then I did the whole second and third mattresses up. That was all. Actually, I think I must have only stitched on that 2 days this week. Huh. Could have sworn. Oh, and someone on the boards asked me where I got the cute little narwhal stitch marker. Needle minder. It's a needle minder, Karen. The narwhal needle minder. I got that, purchased that at SSK this summer. Casey from Tangerine Designs has them, and I don't know if she has any up in her shop right now or not. But I know she had, at the time she had narwhals, she had a little fox, she had a hedgehog. I think she might have had an octopus, cute little octopus. I'm not sure if she did or not. I might be totally making that last one up, but I know she had narwhals, foxes, and hedgehogs for sure. Anything beyond that, she should have it up in her Etsy shop though. So that's it for the crafting portion. So I have a couple of things for various and sundry. First thing, for any questions, I'm going to do the question from Froggy Monkey. So she wrote, how has your style changed over the years? Which, if any, patterns did you knit several years ago that you would laugh at or not choose now? What would you knit now that you couldn't see yourself knitting back then? Also, how's your taste in yarn and fiber changed? Okay, how's my style changed over the years? I think now, in terms of like what I knit, a lot of what I knit back then was very, I don't want to say trendy because it really wasn't trendy, but it was kind of, I knit what everybody else was knitting. So it was way before Ravelry. I knit clapotis, I knit a cleaves, I did just whatever the in thing was, I kind of jumped on the bandwagon with those. What patterns did I knit? And now I think my knitting style has changed to, I'm trying to be a lot more, oh gosh, what's classic? Timeless? Something that, I mean, I'm spending so much time on things, I don't want to pull something out in 10 years time and have my kids roll their eyes and go, oh, Mom, you're wearing that, that's so out of style. Which I could see them doing. Even if it's not, even if I do the classic stuff, I can see them doing that. So I'd say that's how I'm changing. I'm not necessarily jumping on whatever. Would I love to knit a Babel hat? Babel hat? Yes, I would love to. They're adorable. I love everyone's, but like it's 63 degrees today, so it's kind of pointless for me to knit a hat. And it's going to be 50s and 60s the rest of this week. Everyone else that's caught in awful cold winter, I'm very, very sorry, but here in the Front Range of Colorado, it's beautiful. Let's see. What patterns did I knit several years ago I would laugh at or not choose now? Cleaves. What's the point? It's a cowl with sleeves, so it was basically this giant off-the-shoulder, deep ribbed cowl that had long sleeves on it. I can't tell you how many, I wore it, I actually wore it because it's usually my arms that are cold, not my core so much. And I got so many comments of, oh, did you forget to knit the rest of your sweater? Usually from older guys at my church who thought they were being cute. So it was like, no, this is how it's supposed to look. Aside from that, I don't know what else what would I laugh at or not choose now? Definitely that, but otherwise, probably not so many scarves, shawls. I've got a huge box of them under my bed and I barely wear them anymore. I pull out one or two and just wear them to death, and I really need to just gift those to people. Just be like, here, I'm not using this anymore, you take it. Please don't inundate me with emails saying, I'll take one, because I stink at getting to the post office right now. I'm telling you that right now. What would you knit now that you couldn't see yourself knitting back then? Anything lace. When I started knitting, forget lace. It freaked me out. I couldn't do it. I couldn't wrap my mind around. Now it's like, oh, lace. Oh, that's pretty. Let's do that. I'd say that's the major one. Now it's like I can almost, I'm not the be-all end-all of knitters, but I think I can look at most patterns and I'm not choosing my patterns based on skill set anymore, or because I'm scared to try something. I can look at it and go, oh yeah, I could do that, but I don't know, I don't want to. I can do that rather than looking at it and go, but I don't know how to do lace, or oh, I don't know how to do cables or steeks. Oh my god, I could, no, I don't have to do that anymore. Because I've done all those things and I know I can, and it's not, that's not a contributing factor to how I choose my projects anymore, which is kind of nice. And how has my tastes in yarn and fiber changed? It has slowed down in terms of purchasing. I now have a very well curated stash, so when I go to the shows, go to the markets, I can walk past things and not go, ooh, I have to have that, I have to have that. I go, no, like, you know what, I've probably got something at home that'll work, I can wait. So I'd say that's probably how it's changed. It's also, when I very, very first started knitting back in college, you know, poor college student, what can you afford? A lot of Red Heart. So I did a lot of knitting with Red Heart, a lot of Red Heart Afghans for friends. Yeah. Not so much anymore. But yeah, I'd say that's how everything's changed. So Amy, I hope I answered everything. Let me mark down that how am I marking that? I'm doing that. Okay. If anyone else wants to contribute to the Any Questions thread, please feel free. I try to do one post a week. If they're shorter, I'll try to contribute to. Sorry, I'm scrolling down to see. We currently have 23 posts. I just answered number 8. Have I skipped any and not answered them? Because I know I said I was going to go back. Oh, I went back and answered ACPs. So I've done 7 of the posts. First one doesn't count because that was my original post. So please, if you have questions, feel free. I'll get to them on a future show. Last thing. Something I kind of teased over on Instagram. Since my birthday was last week, probably about the week before, since my husband was working, I knew birthday celebrations were going to be a little sparse since he would be at work all day and I made my own cake. He did bring me a beautiful, beautiful bouquet of pink roses and hydrangeas, so that was gorgeous. And a huge 3-pound bag of gummy bears, so I did get birthday presents, don't worry. But I wasn't sure, since family wasn't coming out or anything, I wasn't sure. I wanted to give myself a present. Okay, let's put it that way. I didn't want to have nothing for my birthday, and I didn't know if that's what it was going to boil down to, since my hubby was working so much. Like, he worked the day before, the day of, and the day after my birthday. It's the way our schedule works. It's what happens. So I saw that Never Not Knitting on Instagram was putting together these lovely little care packages, and she had a deluxe and then a regular. I can't remember if it was called a regular. This is the regular one. This is not the deluxe. And she had a few spare, so I went, yes please, and signed up. And this is called the Have You Any Wool care package. And I did open this just really quick, but I didn't take everything out so I could share it with you guys. So here we go. She sent it in a bigger box, but then in this beautiful little hat box. And the presentation is fabulous. So I'm sorry if I'm tempting you guys with this. I think these are done. She's planning on doing one every month. It basically boils down to, it's a mystery box. And she lists out, you'll have at least one wool care thing, at least one fiber sample, at least one, and listed them all on the website. Well, yeah, that's worth the money. So the packaging is beautiful. I'm a sucker for gorgeous packaging. From the ties, the little box, hat box thing is gorgeous. You open it up. She's got a little sheep stamped on the tissue paper that's on top. And then you get to the inside. So we've got a little scroll, which Hope you enjoy this special sheep-inspired care package. Each item included was carefully selected just for you. Enjoy, Alana. And so this is, I believe, I don't want to say, so we'll just go down the list of what's in here. A homemade sheep tin from British Columbia, Canada with a hand-poured resin finish. The inside contains a magnetic insert perfect for keeping your tapestry needle and stitch markers in order and right where you need them for your next project. So it's a little tin, a whatnot tin for your small storage needs. And there's a little sticker on the bottom from, oh gosh, from the business that it's from, which is Firefly Notes Online. And she included a tapestry needle and some stitch markers, so they're all stuck to the bottom because of that magnet that's underneath the little card. And the top just slides open. Second, and I'm sorry, I'm going to keep on scrolling this, 2 mother of pearl sheep buttons from Saskatchewan, Canada. So I've got 2 of those, and they're on a little card, and she stamped "Ba" on the back. I love the presentation. This is killing me. Lanolin All Natural Skin Salve made by hand in Bellport, New York. And let me find that. I think that's this. I hope this is this. I don't know what else this one would be. So, yep. Great Stuff Lanolin All Natural Skin Salve and Honey Almond. Ooh, I haven't opened this. I didn't realize it was scented. Ow, it's sealed. No. I must open this now and smell it for you guys. Just, oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, that smells amazing. That smells so amazing. I'm going to have to try this, let you guys know how it is because it's so good. From Utopia Bath Limited. Because nursing, my hands are so dry. And you guys can probably see when I've been holding stuff up to the camera the last few weeks, I've had this knuckle and this knuckle have cracked open and bled. I've had, it's winter. Plus I live in a drier environment now. So we have this hand salve. We have a skein of Quince & Company yarn. Look in the middle of your skein for a little surprise. So it's already balled up. This is the owl in, I think it's the tweed. Yeah, owl with tweedy nubs. And I think the colorway is sooty, so it's a kind of a dark gray. Let me. There's nothing in the middle of my skein. Did it fall out? I'll have to get back to you guys on this one because I'm not feeling anything in the middle of my skein. I'll find out. It's still, it's awesome yarn. It's 50% American wool and 50% New Zealand alpaca, so it's nice and soft and squishy and very lofty. What else? What else do we have? A sample of Shetland comb top wool fiber sourced from flocks on the Shetland Islands, and the babies are awake. So that's all packaged up there. A one-wash sample of twig and horn wool soap. Packed with the highest grade lanolin available, the soap will leave your wool garments clean, refreshed, and more luxurious than the day you bought or made them. So this little bottle of, it's a liquid soap. So I'll have to try that out again. Get back to you guys. And a hand-printed letterpress sheep tag, lovingly printed in, I don't have one of those. Letterpress sheep tag. Oh, that's probably the thing on the outside of the box. Oh. The natural jute string, yeah. And then she wrote that it was for me from Alana. So that's, oh gosh. And then there's more tissue paper and the lovely box, of course. So that's what's in, was in this month's anyway. I'm kind of excited about this. I might invest in another one in another few months just because. We'll see. But it was kind of nice. This came, I believe it came on, it must have come on Saturday because we had friends over Sunday and they're like, you know, you have a box sitting out here because our doorbell's broken. So they probably pushed the what's left of the destroyed button on the doorbell and nothing rang inside the house. So I didn't even know it was sitting out there. And we stayed home all weekend because we're fun that way. And that's everything. So I know this has drug on for a little bit. I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully next week we'll be back upstairs. If not, we'll be back down here with this light. Please let me know if this is okay or if it was too blown out, and I'll readjust where the lights are at. So until next week, happy knitting.